Crawl home, Miss Callahan. If you survive the next hour, we'll talk. Emma's knees hit the rain-soaked pavement outside Carver International, her evidence scattered like broken promises. Thunder cracked. Nicholas Carver's silhouette filled the glass doors above, untouchable, merciless. Then her phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number radio. Now. She looked up at the building's LED ticker. Her face, her name. Wanted Emma Callahan. Embezzlement, $17 million. Headlights swerved toward her. She rolled. Metal screamed past. The game had started, and she was already losing. Before this night destroys her, subscribe and stay until the end. Comment your city below. Let's see how far Emma's fight travels. Now let's watch her world burn. The guards didn't just remove Emma from Nicholas Carver's office. They erased her. Move. The taller one, Jenkins' name tag, glinting, twisted her arm behind her back. Professional. Practiced. The folder exploded from her grip, pages spinning through the air like dying moths. No, stop. Those are... Emma lunged. Her fingertips grazed a spreadsheet before Jenkins yanked her backwards so hard her shoulder popped. Boss said out. That means out. 43 floors up, Lake Michigan glittered through floor-to-ceiling windows. Beautiful. Cold. Exactly like the man who sat motionless at his desk watching her thrash like a fish on a line. Nicholas, please? Her voice cracked. 18 months of 80-hour weeks, of proving herself, of believing she mattered, all of it crumbling. I found $17 million in stolen funds. Doesn't that mean anything? It means Nicholas Carver stood, each movement calculated, terrifying in its control, 6'3" of tailored menace. You've crossed a line you don't understand. I understand theft. No, he buttoned his suit jacket. Charcoal gray probably cost $5,000. You understand numbers. You don't understand consequences. He nodded once. The guards dragged her toward the elevator. Crawl home in the storm, Miss Callahan. If you're lucky, you'll make it. The elevator doors swallowed her scream. 43 floors of freefall. Emma's heart slammed against her ribs. Jenkins and his partner, shorter, muscle-bound, silent, stood like bookends blocking any escape. The elevator dinged at each floor. 39, 35, 30. He's making a mistake, Emma gasped. Blood rushed in her ears. Someone's stealing from him. I can prove, don't care. Jenkins stared straight ahead. But the Singapore accounts. Lady, I get paid to move bodies, not listen to them. Bodies. The words settled in her stomach like ice. 20 floors, 15, 10. Her reflection in the polished doors showed a stranger, mascara-smeared silk blouse, wrinkled eyes too wide. She looked breakable. Maybe she was. The lobby gleamed like a mausoleum. Marble, chrome, silence. The night receptionist, Cynthia, glanced up. Their eyes met. Cynthia's hand moved toward her phone, then stopped. Slowly, deliberately, she looked back at her computer screen. No witnesses, no help. The revolving door spat Emma onto Michigan Avenue at 9:47 p.m. November rain hit like a punishment. Cold, vicious, the kind that soaked through skin to bone. Emma stumbled, caught herself against wet concrete. The guards didn't follow. They didn't need to. The door sealed behind them with a whisper of hydraulics, and she was alone. Wait, she pounded on the glass. My purse, my phone. Jenkins turned his back. Please, my keys. Nothing, just her reflection, drowned and desperate. A cab hydroplaned past, drenching her legs. She flinched, wrapping her arms around herself. Cream silk blouse, black pencil skirt, heels meant for carpeted offices, not war zones. Her apartment was 32 blocks north. She had nothing, no money, no ID, no proof she existed. Emma started walking. Block 1, denial. This wasn't happening. Nicholas would call her back, explain, apologize. Block 2, reality. The rain intensified. Each drop felt personal. Block 3, her fingers went numb. A woman materialized from the storm umbrella like a black halo. 50-something kind eyes. Honey, are you hurt? The concern almost shattered Emma. I'm fine. You're soaked through. I said I'm fine. Too sharp, too broken. Emma forced something resembling a smile. Thank you, really, I just need to get home. The woman hesitated, then pressed wet bills into Emma's hand. Cab money, please. Before Emma could respond, she was gone, swallowed by Chicago's indifferent crowds. Emma stared at the $20 bill. $20. That's what her life was worth now. Block 7 brought the first radio. A car rolled past, windows down despite the rain, NPR bleeding into the night. Emma caught fragments. Breaking news. Financial scandal. Chicago. Weird. She kept walking. Block 8, another car, another radio. Emma Callahan, wanted. Her feet stopped moving. Block 9, a corner store, windows flickering with television light. Through the rain-smeared glass, Emma saw 3 people clustered around a screen mounted in the corner. The shopkeeper's mouth hung open. A customer clutched her purse like Emma might steal it through the glass. Emma's instincts screamed run. Her feet carried her forward. The door chimed. 3 heads swiveled. On screen, her face. Her employee photo from the Carver International website. Professional smile. Hair neat. The woman she'd been this morning, a lifetime ago. Emma Callahan, 27, financial analyst at Carver International, wanted for questioning in the embezzlement of $17 million. The news anchor's voice was crisp, certain, damning. FBI has issued a federal warrant. No, the word fell out of Emma like a stone. No, that's not. The shopkeeper's hand moved under the counter. Probably had a gun there, or a panic button. That's her. The customer, younger woman, phone already out. Oh my God, that's... Emma ran. Into the rain, blind with panic feet slipping on wet pavement. Behind her shouts, maybe pursuit. She didn't look back. Couldn't. Her lungs burned, her legs trembled. She grabbed a street lamp to stay upright, metal cold against her palm. Embezzlement. They were calling her a thief. Nicholas had found the one thing worse than firing her. He'd destroyed her. Flipped the script. Made her the criminal. Brilliant, she gasped to the empty street. You brilliant bastard. Who would believe her now? A junior analyst with 18 months on the job versus Nicholas Carver, Chicago royalty, a man whose charitable donations bought wings on hospitals. Of course she was guilty. Of course she'd stolen. Why else would she have that evidence? Block 15, her feet screamed. The heels had rubbed her skin raw. She kicked them off, left them in a puddle, kept moving in torn stockings. A black sedan slowed beside him. Every muscle locked. The window lowered. A man leaned out, 40, forgettable face, dead eyes. Emma Callahan. Almost polite, she bolted. Across the street without looking. Horns exploded. Brakes shrieked. A delivery truck missed her by inches. She felt the heat of its engine, smelled burning rubber. Made it to the opposite curb and kept running. An alley yawned to her right. She took it. Darkness swallowed her. Rain pounded metal dumpsters like drums. Her bare feet splashed through things she didn't want to identify. Behind her, footsteps. Steady, unhurried. Hunting. The alley ended at a fence, 8 feet tall, topped with wire. Emma jumped, caught metal, hauled herself up. The wire bit through her palms. Blood mixed with rain. She didn't care. Swung over, dropped hard on the other side. Her ankle twisted. Pain shot up her leg like lightning. She limped forward. The footsteps stopped. Whoever he was, he'd given up, or called for backup. Block 20. The rain was biblical. Couldn't see more than a few feet. Good. If she couldn't see them, they couldn't. Headlights. Emma froze at the intersection. Red light, car waiting. Normal. Except the driver was staring at her, and the light turned green, and the car accelerated. Straight at her. Time crystallized. She saw everything Lexus blackcurrant year. Tinted windows. The driver's face, young male, expressionless. The trajectory that would crush her against the signal pole. This wasn't traffic, this was execution. Emma threw herself backward. Her hip cracked against concrete. The Lexus roared past so close its mirror caught her wet hair, yanking her head sideways. Pain exploded across her scalp. The car didn't stop. Didn't slow. Disappeared into the storm like a nightmare dissolving. Emma lay on the sidewalk, gasping. Someone had just tried to kill her. Not frame her, not arrest her. Kill her. Miss Callahan. She scrambled backward on torn hands and bleeding feet until her spine hit brick. A man stood 5 feet away, hands raised. 30s, Hispanic. Security uniform, wrong colors for Carver International. Stay back! Her voice was ragged. That Lexus was sent to kill you. He spoke fast, urgent Spanish accent, threading his words. There's another one 2 blocks east. You have 90 seconds before they circle back. Who are you? David Ruiz. I work for Nicholas Carver. Emma laughed. Wild, broken. Then you're here to finish it. I'm here because Mr. Carver sent me to keep you alive. His eyes flicked to the street. There's a blue Toyota 2 blocks south. Driver named Chen. He'll take you somewhere safe. Safe? Your boss just destroyed my life. No. David stepped closer. She tried to retreat, but the wall stopped her. He saved it. You just don't know it yet. He framed me on national news. He didn't. Someone else did 5 minutes after you left the building. David's jaw tightened. Someone who moved very fast, which means they were ready, waiting. Headlights appeared at the end of the block, moving slowly, methodically. We can debate or you can live. Choose now. The headlights were closer, 2 cars moving in tandem. Emma grabbed his hand. They ran, through an alley, over a fence that left her palms shredded, across a parking lot where David suddenly stopped, hand up. There, blue Toyota engine running, wipers beating. Chen's one of ours. I'm not going anywhere with. In 30 seconds, every cop in Chicago has your photo. The FBI has manufactured evidence. The real thief has unlimited money and excellent reasons to bury you. David's eyes locked on hers. Trust Carver and maybe die. Trust yourself and definitely die. Pick. The hunting cars were 2 blocks away. 1 block. Emma ran for the Toyota. The door opened before she reached it. She dove inside. It slammed shut. Seatbelt, the driver said calmly. Her hands shook too hard. The driver, Chen, older Asian man, silver-haired, reached back and clicked it for her. Then he pulled into traffic like they were going to dinner, not fleeing assassins. Through the rear window, Emma saw David walking casually toward the hunting cars, hands in pockets. The cars passed him without slowing. Smart. Chen's voice was soft. He'll lead them east. Buy us time. Where are we going? Somewhere you can think. Chen made a series of turns, always checking mirrors, never speeding. I've driven for Mr. Carver 12 years. He's ruthless, but he doesn't waste resources. If he threw you into that storm, there's a reason. Yeah, to destroy me. Or protect you. Chen glanced at her in the mirror. The news went live at 9:52. You left the building at 9:47. 5 minutes. Mr. Carver didn't arrange that. Someone else did. Someone ready. Emma's mind spun. Who? That's what we need to discover. And you're the key. They drove through rain-drowned streets into suburbs where money whispered instead of shouted. Chen turned onto a private road. Gates opened silently. Trees bowed like subjects. The estate appeared through the stormstone and glass angles, and power old money meeting new brutality. Chen stopped at the entrance where a woman waited, umbrella ready. Young, efficient medical scrubs. Miss Callahan, I'm Dr. Martinez. Let's get you inside. Emma didn't move. This is a trap. If it were a trap, Dr. Martinez said gently, we wouldn't waste a doctor on you. The warmth beckoned. Emma's body betrayed her mind. She let the doctor guide her inside. Marble foyer, crystal chandelier, the smell of leather and money. Dr. Martinez led her to a room set up like a medical office, helped her onto an exam table, wrapped her in heated blankets. The warmth hurt. Pins and needles everywhere. Your feet first. Dr. Martinez knelt, began cleaning the cuts. Each touch sent fire up Emma's legs. You're lucky. No stitches needed. Lucky. Emma almost laughed. Hot shower through that door. Take your time. I'll leave clothes. Emma shuffled to the bathroom. Marble and gold. A shower with 6 heads. She stood under scalding water until feeling returned, until she stopped shaking, until the bathroom filled with steam and she could almost breathe again. Clothes waited when she emerged. Black leggings, cashmere sweater, thick socks, everything in her size. He'd known. Of course he'd known. A knock. Mr. Carver is ready. Emma's stomach dropped. But she was done running. She followed the assistant through halls lined with art that probably cost more than she'd earn in her lifetime. They stopped at double doors. The assistant knocked once, entered without waiting. Nicholas Carver stood by a fireplace staring into flames. He'd changed. Dark slacks, thin sweater. Less armor, more dangerous. Thank you, Marcus, he said without turning. The doors closed with a whisper. Oh, good. You have reports. Her laugh was glass. I'm on every news channel as a criminal. The FBI wants me, People are hunting me, and she pointed at him, hand trembling. You started this. No. One word. Absolute. I didn't. You fired me. I removed you from a building where someone wanted you dead. He moved closer. She held her ground. The moment you brought me that report, you became a target. Someone in my organization has been stealing for months. When you found the trail, they had two choices: kill you or destroy your credibility. So you helped them destroy me. I removed you from their immediate reach. His jaw tightened. I made it look like anger, like you were incompetent. I hoped they'd see you as neutralized, fired, disgraced, no longer a threat. Instead, they framed me for theft. Yes, he stepped closer. She could smell his cologne, dark, expensive, dangerous. Faster than I anticipated, which means we're dealing with someone with significant resources. Who? I have suspicions. The admission seemed to cost him. But I need proof, and I need you, the only person who's studied those numbers closely enough. I don't have the files. You have your mind. He reached out slowly, giving her time to pull away, tucked a damp strand of hair behind her ear. The intimacy of it stopped her breath. You built those models. You can rebuild them. Emma jerked back. You want me to help you. I want us to help each other. Why would I trust you? Because 3 hours ago you trusted me enough to show me evidence of theft in my own company. His eyes held hers, gold flecks near the iris. That took courage. You wanted justice, so do I. Justice, she tasted the word. You're the Wolf of Chicago. Everyone knows what you are. I prefer morally flexible, ghost of a smile. But I don't tolerate internal theft. It's principle. Honor among thieves. Something like that. Thunder rattled the windows. Emma realized how close they were standing, how tall he was, how much leashed power coiled in that frame. She stepped back. Show me what you have. First, you need to see this. He pressed something on his desk. The door opened. David Ruiz entered, tablet in hand. Got the footage, boss. Nicholas handed Emma the tablet. Watch. Security footage. Carver International earlier tonight. Emma watched herself approach Nicholas's office folder in hand. The angle shifted. Marcus Lane, head of acquisitions, expensive suits, forgettable face, stood down the hall watching. The moment she entered Nicholas's office, Marcus pulled out his phone. The footage jumped forward. Her being escorted out. Marcus on his phone again. Then Marcus entering Nicholas's office, emerging minutes later with her scattered papers. He took my evidence, and 15 minutes later, the news networks had their story. Nicholas's voice was flat. Marcus Lane, in my company 8 years, trusted, careful, and apparently a thief. So you've known. I've suspected since you first flagged the irregularities. I've been watching him. Nicholas took the tablet back. But he's careful. I needed more. And I gave it to you tonight. You confirmed my suspicions. More importantly, he revealed himself by moving against you so quickly. Nicholas poured amber liquid into 2 glasses. Desperation makes people sloppy. Emma sank into a chair. Leather, soft, obscenely expensive. What now? Now we prove it. The news has convicted you. The FBI has manufactured evidence. We need to find the real trail and expose Marcus before he runs. Why doesn't he run now? Because he thinks he's won. Nicholas handed her a glass. As far as Marcus knows, you're a rogue employee. I fired you in anger and he's pinned everything on the perfect scapegoat. Me. You. Nicholas raised his glass. But he's wrong because you're here, alive, and ready to burn his world down, aren't you? Emma stared at the whiskey. Probably older than her career. Everything here cost more than her life. But Nicholas was right. She wanted justice. She'd worked too hard to let some embezzler destroy her. She drank. The burn was clarifying. I want immunity from whatever you're involved in. I help you catch Marcus, you clear my name. Done. I want full disclosure, no more games. Reasonable. And after this, I walk away. I don't work for you. I don't owe you. Nicholas smiled, slow, dangerous. We'll see. That's not an answer. It's the only answer you'll get tonight. He set down his glass. You've been through hell, Miss Callahan. David will show you to a room. We start work in the morning. I can't stay here. No. Something shifted in his expression. Respect, maybe. You're a player. The question is whether you're ready to play. She held his gaze. Outside, the storm raged. Inside, something more dangerous ignited. Show me the board, Emma said. Let's play. The guest room had a lock, but Emma didn't trust it. She dragged a chair against the door anyway, then stood there breathing hard, listening. Footsteps passed in the hallway. Faded. Silence pressed in like water. She was in Nicholas Carver's house, the wolf's den. Every instinct screamed to run, but her body had other ideas. Her legs gave out. She slid down the wall, landing hard on carpet that probably cost more than her car. Her phone. She needed her phone. Needed to call who? The police hunting her. Her mother in Seattle, who thought she had a respectable job. Emma laughed sharp and bitter. She had nothing. No one. A knock shattered the quiet. Emma shot to her feet. What? Footsteps retreated. Emma waited 10 seconds, 20, then cracked the door. A duffel bag sat in the hallway. She grabbed it, slammed the door, shoved the chair back in place. Inside the bag, jeans, t-shirts, her favorite sweater, with the hole in the sleeve, underwear, her toothbrush. Someone had gone through her drawers, touched her things, invaded the last space that was hers. She wanted to scream. Instead, she found the phone. Burner, cheap flip model, one number programmed in Carver. She threw it across the room. It hit the wall, clattered to the floor. Kept working. Of course it did. Emma sank onto the bed and stared at the ceiling. Ornate molding, chandelier, a prison made of crystal and lies. Sleep was impossible. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw headlights, felt the Lexus's heat, heard Nicholas's voice crawl home in the storm. At 3 a.m. she gave up, grabbed the burner phone, stared at it. Her thumb hit the call button. Nicholas answered on the first ring. Can't sleep. Did you really think I would? Emma's voice was raw. No, and background noise on his end, papers shuffling, keyboard clicking. Still working. But I hoped. You need rest. I need answers. She stood paced. Marcus Lane, tell me everything. It's 3 a.m. You're awake. Silence, then come to my office, second floor east wing. David will meet you in the hall. He hung up. David glanced at her. He saved my life. I owe him. What happened? That's not your business. No heat in it, just fact. They reached double doors. David knocked twice open without waiting. She's here, boss. Nicholas sat behind a desk covered in monitors, papers, coffee cups. He looked up and Emma saw exhaustion around his eyes. Human, almost. Thank you, David. Stay close. David nodded, closed the doors. Emma heard him take position outside. Sit. Nicholas gestured to a chair across from him. She sat. Marcus Lane. Efficient. I like that. Nicholas tapped a key. One monitor flared to life, showing a photo. Marcus Lane smiling at some charity gala. Tuxedo, champagne. Perfectly forgettable. Age 52, Harvard MBA. Joined Carver International 8 years ago. Heads acquisitions. Wife, 2 kids in private school. House in Evanston. Volunteers at his church. Sounds boring. That's the point. Nicholas pulled up another file. Bank statements. 3 months ago, I noticed unusual activity in our Singapore holdings. Small transfers. Carefully layered. Someone knew our systems well. How much total? 17 million, as you discovered. But Marcus was smart. He moved it through shell companies, offshore accounts, crypto exchanges. Laundered it 6 ways before it touched anything traceable. Emma leaned forward, studying the numbers. These transfers, they match trade cycles. He was hiding them in legitimate business flow. Exactly, which is why I needed fresh eyes. My regular auditors saw what they expected to see. Nicholas's jaw tightened. You saw the truth. So why not just fire him, turn him over to the FBI? Because I don't know if he's working alone. Nicholas stood, moved to the window. Chicago sprawled below a sea of lights. Marcus isn't smart enough to build this scheme by himself. Someone's helping him. Maybe someone inside the company. Maybe someone outside with leverage. Like who? That's what we need to find out. He turned back. Which is why you're going back to Carver International tomorrow. Emma's blood went cold. Excuse me. You heard me? I'm wanted by the FBI. Not anymore. Nicholas tapped his phone. Her face appeared a news article. As of 1 hour ago, the warrant's been suspended. Anonymous tips suggested the evidence was fabricated. FBI's investigating. You did that? I have resources. He said it like discussing the weather. The news will run a retraction by morning. You're not cleared, but you're not actively hunted. Create space. Space for what? For you to go back, act normal, rattled but compliant. Nicholas moved closer. Marcus thinks you're neutralized. We let him keep thinking that. Meanwhile, you work from the inside access the systems rebuild your evidence. That's insane. That's strategy. He'll know. He'll see right through. He'll see a scared young woman who barely survived being framed. Nicholas's eyes locked on hers. You play the victim, confused, grateful the charges are being reconsidered, desperate to prove your innocence. He'll buy it because people like Marcus underestimate people like you. Emma's hands clenched. And if he doesn't, if he tries to kill me again, David will be there, and others. Nicholas pulled a badge from his desk drawer, tossed it to her. She caught it reflexively. Security contractor ID, her photo fake name. Starting tomorrow, you're also working as a security consultant. Gives you access to areas you shouldn't normally enter. David will be your trainer. She stared at the badge. You had this ready. I'm always ready. Nicholas returned to his desk. You have 3 days. That's how long before Marcus gets nervous. 3 days to access the servers, pull the real transaction records, trace the money to wherever he's hiding it. What if I can't? Then we try something else. But I think you can. He looked at her, really looked. You're smarter than Marcus, tougher than he expects, and you have something he doesn't. What? Nothing left to lose. The words hit like a punch. Emma stood slowly. I want something in return. Name it. When this is over, you tell me the truth. All of it. Why you really helped me. What you're actually running. Everything. Nicholas smiled. Dangerous. Done. Just like that. Just like that. He turned back to his monitors. Now go. Sleep if you can. David will brief you at 6 a.m. Emma walked to the door, stopped. Nicholas. Yes. If you're lying to me, if this is some game and I'm the pawn, I'll burn you down too. He didn't turn around. I'd expect nothing less. She left. David fell into step beside her without a word. They walked in silence until they reached her room. He's telling the truth, David said quietly, about protecting you. How do I know that? You don't. But I've seen him sacrifice pieces before. You're not a piece to him. David's expression was unreadable. Whatever you are, it's different. That's either very good or very bad. I haven't decided which. He walked away before she could respond. Emma locked herself in, didn't bother with the chair this time. She was too tired, too wired, too everything. She lay on the bed fully clothed and stared at the ceiling until gray light crept through the windows. At 5:47 a.m. her burner phone buzzed. Text from Carver News Retraction, running now. Watch. She found the remote, turned on the TV. CNN already mid-story. New developments in the Emma Callahan case. Sources indicate the evidence against the former Carver International analyst may have been fabricated. The FBI has suspended the warrant pending investigation into potential misconduct. Emma's photo appeared, different one this time, less damning, almost sympathetic. Callahan's attorney released a statement claiming his client is a whistleblower who uncovered fraud and was subsequently framed. I don't have an attorney, Emma said to the empty room. Her phone buzzed again. Carver, you do now. His name is Robert Chen. Different Chen, he's expecting your call. Another buzz, a phone number. Emma called it. Miss Callahan, smooth voice, educated. Robert Chen, I've been retained to represent you. Don't worry about payment, it's handled. Here's what you need to know. Say nothing to anyone without me present. That includes the FBI police journalists, your friends, your family. Nothing, understood? Yes, but I didn't hire. Mr. Carver hired me on your behalf. I'm one of the best defense attorneys in Illinois. You're very lucky. He didn't sound like he believed in luck. I've already filed motions to suppress the evidence against you. The FBI's case is weak and getting weaker. But you need to stay quiet and let me work. Can you do that? Yes. Good, I'll be in touch. He hung up. Emma stared at the phone. Nicholas was moving pieces on a board she couldn't fully see. Terrifying, but also effective. A knock, David's voice. Briefing in 10, wear something professional. She showered fast, dressed in slacks and a blouse from her duffel. Checked her reflection. Pale. Shadows under her eyes. Perfect. She looked like a woman barely holding it together. David waited outside with coffee and a folder. Drink, read, move. All business. The coffee was good. The folder was better. Detailed layouts of Carver International's security systems, server locations, camera blind spots. Someone had marked optimal routes in red. You memorize this, David said as they walked. All of it. Because I can't hold your hand once we're inside. I'm security. You're a consultant. We interact professionally, nothing more. Understood? Yes. Marcus will be watching you. So will others. You stay in character, scared but determined. Grateful for a second chance. You do not deviate. They reached Nicholas's office. He was on the phone speaking rapid Mandarin. He gestured them in without pausing. Emma and David sat, waited. Nicholas finished his call, switched to another. This one in English. Don't care what it costs. I want eyes on every account either Marcus has touched in the last year. Every shell company, every transfer, He listened. Then get more people. We have 72 hours. He hung up. Looked at Emma. Ready? No. Good. Honest. He slid a tablet across the desk. This has access to our internal systems. You'll need to appear to be working on your old projects while actually pulling Marcus's data. David will create distractions to pull security attention when needed. What kind of distractions? Small fires, IT glitches. Whatever works, Nicholas stood. Marcus arrives at 8. You arrive at 8:30, late enough to seem hesitant, early enough to seem eager to clear your name. You go straight to HR, meet with Linda Vasquez. She's been briefed. She'll reinstate you pending the FBI investigation. Linda knows about this. Linda knows what I tell her. Nicholas's smile was blade thin. Everyone at Carver International ultimately works for me. Remember that. Emma swallowed. What do I say to Marcus when I see him? As little as possible. If he approaches you, you're polite but wary. You don't trust anyone. You're there to work, prove your innocence, nothing more. And if he realizes, he won't, because you're a better actor than he is. Nicholas moved around the desk, stood close. Too close. Marcus has spent 8 years pretending to be loyal while stealing from me. You just need to pretend to be weak for 3 days. Can you do that? Emma met his eyes, saw the challenge there. The test. Yes. Then go. David will drive you. The drive to Carver International took 20 minutes through morning traffic. Emma spent it reviewing the folder, burning details into memory. Server room 3rd floor, backup systems basement, Marcus's office 41st floor, her old desk 27th. You'll have access to your old workspace, David said, navigating through downtown. Your login credentials are reactivated, but they're monitored. Assume everything you do on that computer is being watched. Then how? The tablet Nicholas gave you. It routes through encrypted proxies. Use it for anything sensitive. Keep it hidden. They pulled into the parking garage. Emma's stomach churned. Through the windshield, she could see the building's glass facade. 43 floors of steel and secrets. Yesterday, she'd been thrown out like garbage. Today she was walking back in as a spearmember. Remember, David said, cutting the engine. You're a victim fighting back. That's not a lie. Use it. They took separate elevators. Emma rode up alone, watching floor numbers climb. Her reflection in the polished doors showed someone who looked haunted. Good. The elevator opened on the 27th floor. Everything looked the same. Cubicles, fluorescent lights, the hum of computers and hushed conversations. Except when she stepped out, conversations died. Heads turned, stared. Emma kept her eyes forward and walked to HR. Linda Vasquez waited in her office door open. 50 professional warm smile that didn't reach her eyes. Emma, come in. Close the door. Emma did. Sat. I'm sure you're confused, Linda began, given yesterday's events. That's one word for it. The company has reviewed the situation. We believe you may have been wrongly accused. Linda slid papers across her desk. We're offering reinstatement. Same position, same salary, pending the FBI's final determination. Why? Emma let her voice shake. Not hard. Yesterday, Mr. Carver fired me. Now you want me back. Yesterday was a misunderstanding. Linda's smile tightened. Mr. Carver was operating on incomplete information. The situation has been clarified. Clarified? Emma looked down at the papers. I was on the news. The FBI issued a warrant, which has been suspended. Your attorney is handling it. Linda leaned forward. Emma, I understand this is difficult, but you have an opportunity here to clear your name, to prove you were trying to help not hurt this company. And if I say no, Linda's smile vanished, then the company withdraws its support. Your legal fees become your responsibility. The FBI investigation proceeds without our cooperation. Your career in finance ends permanently. There it was, the threat wrapped in corporate speak. I see. Emma picked up a pen. Signed. When do I start? Now, your desk is waiting. Linda stood, extended her hand. Emma shook it. Linda's grip was iron. Welcome back. Emma walked out of HR feeling eyes on her from every direction. Whispers started the moment she passed. Can't believe she's back. FBI warrant. Heard she stole millions. She kept walking, reached her cubicle. Everything was exactly as she'd left it. Computer files, even her coffee mug with the stupid cat joke. Like yesterday never happened. Like her life hadn't exploded. She sat down, logged in. Her screen flickered to life. 40 new emails, most from colleagues asking if she was okay. A few from IT about password resets. One from Marcus Lane. Subject, welcome back. Her hand hesitated over the mouse. She clicked. Emma. Glad to hear the misunderstanding has been resolved. If you need anything, my door's always open. Best Marcus short. Professional. Perfectly calibrated. Emma's skin crawled. She typed back, thank you. I appreciate the support. Hit send, then pulled the tablet from her bag, keeping it low out of sight from cameras. Powered it on. Nicholas had given her a checklist. Item 1, access Marcus's transaction history. She needed 30 minutes alone. Impossible in an open office. Unless. Emma stood, grabbed her empty coffee mug, walked to the break room. David was there fixing the coffee machine, playing his role. Excuse me, Emma said, formal, distant. Is this working? Should be, try it. David stepped back. Under his breath, too low for cameras, it glitched in 5 minutes. Server room, 3rd floor. You have 10 minutes max. Emma poured coffee she didn't want. Thank you. She returned to her desk, worked on meaningless spreadsheets. Watched the clock. 4 minutes. 3, 2. The lights flickered. Computers across the floor blinked off on again. Groans erupted. Not again, someone shouted. Emma grabbed the tablet, stood. I'm checking with IT. She walked to the elevator, hit the button for the 3rd floor. The doors opened. Empty hallway. She found the server room, swiped her new security badge. The door clicked open. Inside, rows of servers hummed. Cold air, blinking lights. Emma connected the tablet to a terminal, pulled up the access codes Nicholas had provided. Come on, come on. The system accepted her credentials. She navigated to Marcus's secure partition, began downloading transaction records. The progress bar crawled. 6%. 12. Footsteps in the hallway. Emma's heart slammed. She ducked behind a server rack tablet clutched to her chest. The footsteps came closer, stopped at the door. A voice, male, unfamiliar, said the glitch was electrical. Doesn't matter, check anyway. Marcus's voice, right outside. Emma stopped breathing. The door handle turned. The door swung open. Emma pressed herself against the server rack tablet screen, down against her chest to hide the light. Cold metal bit through her blouse. Her lungs screamed for air, but she didn't dare breathe. Marcus's shoes appeared first. Italian leather polished to mirrors. He walked 3 steps into the room, stopped. The second-man IT tech by his polo shirt and badge moved to a control panel. Everything looks normal from here, Mr. Lane. The tech tapped keys. Probably just a power surge. Check the backup systems anyway. Marcus's voice was calm, too calm. I want a full diagnostic. The tech sighed. That'll take 20 minutes. Then it takes 20 minutes. Marcus turned. Emma saw his profile through a gap in the servers. Distinguished, trustworthy. A mask. I'll wait. No. The download bar on her tablet read 48%. Not enough, not nearly enough. And if she stopped it, now the system would log the incomplete transfer. Marcus would know someone had accessed his files. The tech settled into a chair, began running diagnostics. Marcus pulled out his phone, started scrolling. Casual, like he had all day. Emma's arms trembled. The tablet was getting heavy. One slip, one sound, and this was over. A voice crackled from Marcus's phone. "Sir, we have a situation on 41. Marcus frowned. "What kind of situation?" "Fire alarm, conference room C. Could be another glitch, but protocol says evacuate." Marcus's jaw tightened. "I'll be right there." He looked at the tech. "Finish the diagnostic. Email me the results." "Yes, sir." Marcus strode out. The door closed behind him with a pneumatic hiss. Emma waited 10 seconds. The tech had his back to her headphones on fingers flying over keys. She checked the tablet. 62%, 70, 85. The tech stood suddenly. Emma froze. He stretched, yawned, walked to a different terminal. His back was to her again. 94%, 98, 100. Download complete. Emma disconnected the cable, slipped the tablet into her bag. She needed to leave, but the tech was between her and the door. If she moved now, he'd see her. Question why she was hiding. Report it to Marcus. Her phone buzzed. Text from David fires out. Marcus returning, 90 seconds. Panic clawed up her throat. She had to move. Now, Emma stood, smoothed her blouse, stepped out from behind the servers. The tech spun around. "Jesus, you scared me." His hand went to his chest. "What are you doing back there?" Think fast. I dropped my badge. It slid under the rack." She held up her security badge clipped to her waistband. "Just found it." The tech's eyes narrowed. "You're not supposed to be in here." "I'm new security consulting. Training." She showed him the fake badge Nicholas had made. "Still learning the protocols." "Sorry. You should check in with your supervisor before accessing secure areas." "You're right, I will." Emma moved toward the door, casual, unhurried, like her heart wasn't trying to escape her ribs. "Thanks for the reminder." She pushed through the door. The hallway was empty. She walked fast toward the elevator, not running, not suspicious, just someone with somewhere to be. The elevator dinged. Doors opened. Marcus stepped out. They nearly collided. "Emma," his smile was practiced. Settling back in. "Yes, sir, thank you." She stepped aside to let him pass. "Good, I'm glad you're back." He touched her shoulder. Light, fatherly. It took everything Emma had not to flinch. "We need good people like you. People who care about doing the right thing." The irony was suffocating. "I appreciate that. Join me for coffee later. I'd like to hear your perspective on what happened." Off the record, every instinct screamed danger, but refusing would seem suspicious. "Of course, what time?" 3 o'clock, my office. His smile widened. "I'll have my assistant bring something nice. You look like you could use a treat after everything you've been through." "That's very kind." Marcus patted her shoulder again, walked past her toward the server room. Emma got in the elevator, hit the button for 27. The doors closed. Her knees gave out. She caught the handrail, held on as the elevator descended. 3 o'clock. Marcus wanted her in his office. Alone 2 hours from now. This was either an opportunity or a trap, maybe both. The elevator opened. Emma walked back to her desk on legs that felt like water. Her hands shook as she opened her email, pretended to work. The tablet in her bag felt radioactive. At 1:47, her burner phone buzzed. Unknown number. She stepped into the bathroom to answer. "There's a secondary account. Transactions I didn't know about." More clicking. Larger amounts, dating back 3 years, not 3 months. Emma's stomach dropped. 3 years? That's not 17 million. No, it's closer to 50. Nicholas's voice went hard. "Marcus has been stealing from me for 3 years, and I never saw it." How is that possible? Because he's better than I thought, or because he stopped? Because what? Because someone's been helping him hide it. Someone with access to my private accounts. The line went quiet. Too quiet. "Emma, I need you to do something for me." "What?" "Marcus asked you to coffee." "Yes." Her blood went cold. "How did you know that?" "I have eyes everywhere, even in my own building." Nicholas's tone shifted, calculating. You're going to that meeting, and you're going to wear a wire. A wire? Are you insane? Then David will be outside the door, along with 3 other security personnel. You'll be safe. You can't guarantee that. No. Honest. Brutal. But I can make sure if something happens to you, Marcus doesn't leave that building alive. Does that help? It shouldn't have. But somehow it did. Fine, I'll do it. Good. David will find you in a pause. 30 minutes? Be ready. He hung up. Emma stared at her reflection in the bathroom mirror. Pale, scared, determined. She barely recognized herself. At 2:15, David appeared at her cubicle with a coffee. Break room, now. Emma followed. The break room was empty. David checked the corners, found the camera positioned them where it couldn't see clearly. Lift your shirt. Excuse me? The wire goes on your skin, bra strap area, unless you want to do it yourself. Emma turned her back, lifted her blouse. David's hands were quick, professional. Something cold pressed against her skin. Tape. A small device barely bigger than a button. That's it. Emma lowered her shirt. That's it. Microphone sensitive. Picks up everything within 20 feet. Don't touch it. Don't mention it. Act natural. Natural, right? Emma laughed. Sharp. Because everything about this is natural. David's expression softened slightly. You're doing good. Better than most people would. Most people aren't wanted for embezzlement. Most people aren't brave enough to walk back into the building where someone tried to destroy them. He handed her the coffee. Drink, it'll help. It didn't, but Emma drank anyway. The clock on the wall read 2:34, 26 minutes until her meeting with Marcus. She spent the matter's desk pretending to analyze spreadsheets while her mind spun. What would she say? How would she act? Marcus had 8 years of practice being someone he wasn't. She had him hours. At 2:58, her desk phone rang. Emma Callahan. Miss Callahan. A woman's voice. Crisp, professional. Mr. Lane is ready for you. I'll be right there. Emma stood, smoothed her blouse over the wire, took the elevator to 41. Marcus's assistant, blonde, efficient, fake smile gestured to his office. Go right in. He's expecting you. The office was large, corner windows overlooking Chicago, leather furniture, bookshelves lined with legal texts and family photos. Marcus sat behind his desk, 2 coffee cups steaming in front of him. Emma, come and sit. He gestured to a chair. I had my assistant get your favorite, caramel latte, right? He'd researched her coffee order. The detail was disturbing. Thank you. She sat, took the cup he offered, didn't drink. Marcus leaned back, studying her. You've had quite a week. That's an understatement. I imagine so. The news the FBI being let go, only to be brought back. He sipped his coffee. Must be confusing. It is. I want you to know, Emma, I never believed you were involved in any wrongdoing. His voice was warm, sincere, lies delivered with a smile. When I saw those news reports, I told Nicholas immediately that something was wrong. You're not the type. The type to steal, to betray the company. He set down his cup. You're someone who cares, who works hard, who wants to do the right thing. I saw that in you from the beginning. The manipulation was smooth. Textbook. Make her feel seen, valued, trusted. Lower her guard. That means a lot, Emma said, especially after everything. Which is why I wanted to talk to you privately. Marcus leaned forward. The financial irregularities, you found the ones that started this whole mess, they're real. Emma's pulse jumped. They are. Yes, and I need your help. He pulled out a folder. I've been conducting my own investigation. Quietly, because I believe someone inside Carver International is indeed stealing. But it's not who you think. Who is it? Marcus opened the folder. Papers, bank statements, transaction records. I think it's Nicholas. The world tilted. Emma's grip tightened on her coffee cup. What? I know how this sounds. He's our boss. He built this company. But look at these. Marcus slid the papers across his desk. Transfers from the Singapore accounts to shell companies Nicholas controls. Millions of dollars, hidden in plain sight. Emma's mind raced. The wire pressed against her skin. Was Nicholas listening? Hearing his own head of acquisitions accuse him of theft. Why would Nicholas steal from his own company? Tax evasion, money laundering. I don't know his endgame. Marcus's voice dropped, conspiratorial. But I do know he's been moving money illegally for years. And when you found evidence of it, he needed a scapegoat, someone to take the fall. Me. You. Marcus's expression turned sympathetic. He fired you publicly, humiliated you, let the news run with the embezzlement story. Then conveniently the warrant gets suspended and you're brought back. Doesn't that seem orchestrated? It did. God help her, it did. What are you saying? I'm saying Nicholas is using you, again. Marcus walked around his desk. He brought you back to see if you'd found anything else, to gauge how much you know. And when he's done with you, when you're no longer useful, he'll throw you away again. Maybe permanently this time. Emma's hands went cold. I don't understand. The attempt on your life last night, the car that tried to hit you. Marcus crouched beside her chair. Eye level. Concerned mentor. Perfect predator. Who do you think ordered that? You're saying Nicholas tried to kill me. I'm saying someone did. And Nicholas has the most to lose if you expose him. Marcus put his hand on hers. She wanted to vomit. Emma, I need you to be smart. You walked into a war you didn't know existed. Nicholas is dangerous. More dangerous than you can imagine. Then why are you telling me this if he's so dangerous? Because you deserve the truth. And because I think together, we can stop him. Marcus squeezed her hand. I have evidence. You have access. You're back in the building working on the systems. You can help me build a case. Real evidence. Enough to go to the authorities. This was it. The pitch. The recruitment. Marcus wasn't just defending himself, he was trying to flip her against Nicholas. What do you want me to do? Emma's voice shook. Not faking. Access Nicholas's private accounts. The ones he thinks are hidden. Pull transaction records going back 5 years. Marcus released her hand, stood. I'll show you where to look. How to extract the data without triggering security alerts. And then we take it to the FBI. Show them the real criminal. Clear your name permanently. He smiled. Warm, trustworthy, completely false. You'll be a hero, Emma. A whistleblower who exposed one of Chicago's biggest frauds. Book deals, job offers. You'll never have to worry about your career again. It was a good pitch. Almost believable. Except Emma had seen the real transaction records. Knew Marcus was the thief. This was his endgame, turn her into a weapon against Nicholas, use her to cover his own tracks. I need time to think, Emma said. Marcus's smile flickered. Brief, but she saw it. Of course, this is a lot to process. It is, but don't take too long. He walked back to his desk. Nicholas is watching you. If he suspects you know anything, he'll act. And I can't protect you if you're not working with me. The threat was barely veiled. Choose sides or face consequences. I understand. Emma stood. Her legs were shaking. Thank you for trusting me with this. Thank you for listening. Marcus opened his office door. We'll talk again soon. Maybe dinner, somewhere private. Maybe. She walked past him into the hallway. Didn't run, didn't look back. David was waiting by the elevators. His face was stone, but his eyes said everything. Get out. Now. They rode down in silence. Emma counted floors. 38, 32, 25. Finally, the lobby. They walked out together across the marble floor through the revolving door into Chicago's cold afternoon. 2 blocks away, David steered her into an alley, pulled out his phone, hit a button. Nicholas's voice crackled through. Did you get that? Every word, David said. Good. Emma, are you all right? Emma leaned against cold brick. He tried to recruit me, to spy on you. I know, I heard. He says you're the thief, that you tried to kill me. Her voice rose. He has fake evidence, papers, bank statements with your name, forged. All of it. Nicholas's tone was ice. Marcus has been planning this for months, building a false trail that leads to me. If you'd helped him, if you'd pulled data from my accounts, he would have planted more evidence there, then turned you over to the FBI as a witness. I would have gone to prison, probably, along with me, and Marcus would have disappeared with $50 million and a new identity. Nicholas paused. But you didn't fall for it. Well done. What now? Now Marcus knows you're thinking about his offer. He'll watch you closely. Try to pressure you into helping him. More sounds, cars. Nicholas was moving. David, bring her to the secondary location. I'll meet you there in 20 minutes. Copy that, boss. The line went dead. David pulled the wire from Emma's skin, crushed it under his heel. Secondary location, Emma asked. Somewhere Marcus doesn't know about. David started walking. Come on. They caught a cab. David gave an address Emma didn't recognize. South Side industrial area. The cab dropped them at a warehouse with boarded windows and a rusted sign. In here? Emma stared. You're kidding. Appearances are deceiving. David unlocked a heavy door. Inside the warehouse was pristine, modern. Security monitors lined one wall, computer stations, communications equipment, a small arsenal in a locked case. What is this place? Contingency. Nicholas's voice echoed from behind them. He stood in a doorway Emma hadn't noticed, phone in hand. I have 6 locations like this throughout Chicago, in case I need to operate off-grid. You mean in case you need to hide? Same thing. He crossed to a computer, pulled up files. I've been analyzing Marcus's transactions. The $50 million he stole wasn't just sitting in accounts. He's been spending it. On what? Nicholas turned the monitor toward her. Photos, property records. Real estate in the Cayman Islands, offshore companies registered in Belize, a yacht in Monaco. He's been building an escape plan for years. Emma studied the images, a villa overlooking turquoise water, the yacht sleek and expensive. When's he planning to run? Soon, maybe days. Nicholas pulled up another file. These transactions, the most recent ones, show him liquidating assets, converting everything to cryptocurrency. Untraceable. Once it's moved, we'll never recover it. So we stop him before he moves it. Exactly. Which brings me to what I need from you. Nicholas's expression hardened. Marcus invited you to dinner, somewhere private. You're going to accept. You want me to meet him again after he just tried to recruit me? I want you to string him along. Make him think you're considering his offer. Play the scared analyst who doesn't know who to trust. For how long? 48 hours, maybe less. Nicholas leaned against the desk. Marcus is nervous. The fire alarm today, the IT glitch, he knows something's happening. He's accelerating his timeline, but he can't run until he's sure you're either working with him or eliminated. Eliminated. Emma's mouth went dry. You mean killed? Yes. No sugarcoating. If Marcus decides you're a threat, he'll move against you. Permanently. And you want me to walk right into that. I want you to walk into it surrounded by my people. Every angle covered. Every exit monitored. Nicholas moved closer. Marcus thinks he's the hunter. We let him keep thinking that until he makes a mistake. One slip. That's all we need. Emma thought about the Lexus, the rain, the moment she thought she was going to die. What kind of mistake? He meets someone, calls someone, accesses the accounts to move the final transfers. Nicholas's smile was predatory. People get sloppy when they think they've won. Marcus is close to winning. Let's help him celebrate. You want him to move the money. I want him to try. And when he does, we'll be waiting. David spoke up. The dinner invitation. Where do you think he'll choose? Somewhere he controls, a restaurant he owns or has connections to. Somewhere he can ensure privacy. Nicholas pulled up a map of Chicago, marked 3 locations. These are his most likely choices. All have private rooms, limited exits. He'll feel safe. And I'll be trapped. You'll be protected. Nicholas pointed to the marks. David and his team will be positioned at each location. Armed. Ready. If Marcus makes any move against you, they'll intervene. What if he doesn't? What if he just keeps trying to recruit me? Then you play along. Tell him you need more proof, more time. Keep him talking. Nicholas's eyes locked on hers. Every conversation gives us information. Every meeting delays his escape. We're running out his clock, Emma, day by day, hour by hour. Emma's phone buzzed. Text from an unknown number. She showed it to Nicholas. Dinner tomorrow night, 8 p.m. I'll send the address. Come alone. We have much to discuss. M. He's moving fast, David said, because he's scared. Nicholas took Emma's phone, typed a response. Okay, I'll be there. Hit send. Tomorrow night, 24 hours from now. That's our window. What happens after dinner if Marcus doesn't slip up? Nicholas's expression went cold. Then we moved to plan B, which is forcing his hand, making him think his accounts have been compromised, that his money's about to be seized. He'll panic, rush to move it, and we'll be waiting to track every transfer. How do you make him think his accounts are compromised? Nicholas smiled, sharp, dangerous. You tell him during dinner. You say you accessed Nicholas Carver's private files like he asked, found evidence of the theft. But you also found something else, evidence that federal agents are watching those accounts, that arrests are coming. He'll run immediately. Yes, straight to his computer to move the money before it's frozen, and we'll follow every transaction in real time, find out exactly where he's hiding it. Then we seize it ourselves before he can. That's illegal. So is stealing $50 million. We're well past legal, Emma. Nicholas handed back her phone. The question is whether you're all in, because once we start this, there's no going back. Marcus either goes down or we do. Emma thought about the rain, the humiliation, the fear, the FBI warrant, her face on every news channel. Everything Marcus had taken from her with laws and manufactured evidence. I'm in. Good. Nicholas pulled out a tablet. Then let's prepare. You need to know exactly what to say tomorrow night, how to play him, where to push, when to retreat. Marcus is smart, but he's arrogant. We use that. They worked for 3 hours. Nicholas and David role-playing scenarios. Emma rehearsing responses, questions Marcus might ask, accusations he might make, how to deflect, how to gather information, how to survive. At 8 p.m., David drove her back to Nicholas's estate. Emma's brain was fried, too much information, too many variables. Tomorrow night, she'd sit across from a man who wanted her dead and convince him she was on his side. Insane, impossible, necessary. She ate dinner alone in her room. Couldn't taste it. Tried to sleep. Couldn't. At midnight, she gave up and went looking for Nicholas. She found him in his study, still working. He looked up when she knocked. Can't sleep. No. Emma walked in, closed the door. I keep thinking about tomorrow. What if I freeze? What if I say the wrong thing? You won't. You don't know that. Yes, I do. Nicholas stood, poured 2 glasses of whiskey, handed her one. You've survived everything Marcus has thrown at you. The firing, the frame bomb, the attempt on your life. You're still standing. Still fighting. That's not luck, Emma. That's strength. Or stupidity. Sometimes they're the same thing. He touched his glass to hers. To stupidity. She drank. The burn was welcome. Why are you really doing this? Helping me? I told you I don't tolerate theft. That's not the whole truth. Nicholas was quiet for a moment. Then, Marcus didn't just steal money. He stole trust, loyalty. 8 years I believed in him, promoted him, brought him into my inner circle, and every day he was betraying me. His voice dropped. I've done terrible things, Emma, built my empire on morally questionable foundations. But I don't lie to my people, and I don't accept betrayal. So this is personal. Everything's personal. He moved to the window. Chicago glittered below. Marcus thought he was smarter than me, thought he could take what's mine and walk away clean. Tomorrow night, we show him how wrong he was. Emma set down her glass. And what about me after this is over? What about you? You said I could walk away, start over. Was that true? Nicholas turned. His expression was unreadable. Do you want to walk away? Did she? Emma thought about her old life. The small apartment, the quiet job, the illusion of safety. That life was gone. She'd seen too much, done too much, become someone different. I don't know, she admitted. Then ask me again when this is over. Nicholas walked past her to the door, stopped. Get some sleep, Emma. Tomorrow we end this. He left. Emma stood alone in the study, surrounded by leather and money and secrets. Tomorrow night, she'd sit across from Marcus Lane and lie to his face, convince him she was his ally, his tool. And then she'd watch Nicholas Carver destroy him. She just had to survive long enough to see it. Emma woke to her phone buzzing at 6 a.m. Text from Marcus. Restaurant changed. New address 1247 West Monroe. Private room reserved. See you at 8. She stared at the message. West Monroe. That wasn't one of the 3 locations Nicholas had marked. Marcus was improvising, testing her, or setting a trap. She forwarded the text to Nicholas. His response came instantly. Good, he's nervous. David's team repositioning now. Proceed as planned. Proceed as planned, like it was that simple. Emma showered dressed carefully. Black dress professional but not formal. She needed to look like someone still figuring out where her loyalties lay. Scared, uncertain, convincible. The wire went back on at 7. David's hands were steady as he taped it to her skin, checked the connection. New location's a steakhouse, he said. Upscale. Marcus owns it through a shell company. Back exit leads to an alley. Front entrance has valet parking. We'll have people in both places. How many? 6, plus me. David met her eyes. You're not going in there alone, Emma. Whatever happens, we're 30 seconds away. 30 seconds is a long time. It's all the time I need. He handed her a small device no bigger than a pen cap. Panic button. You press it, we come in hard. No questions. Understood. Emma clipped it inside her jacket pocket. Understood. At 7:45, a car arrived. Not David driving this time, a woman late 30s, cold eyes. I'm Sarah. I'll be your valet tonight. Park out front. Stay visible. Look nervous. You're early because you're anxious. Sell it. Emma got in the back. Sarah drove through evening traffic without speaking. They reached West Monroe at 7:52. The steakhouse was small, expensive looking. A doorman stood outside, 2 valets. Sarah pulled up to the entrance. 8 minutes early. Perfect. Sarah glanced back. Wires transmitting clean. Nicholas is listening, so is David. You say anything, we hear it. What if Marcus checks me for a wire? Then you slap him and walk out. Say you're insulted. We extract you immediately. Sarah's expression didn't change. But he won't. Men like Marcus think they're too smart to need precautions. Use that. Emma stepped out. The doorman opened the heavy door with a practiced smile. Inside the restaurant was dim, intimate. A hostess approached immediately. Miss Callahan. Yes. Mr. Lane is expecting you. This way. They walked past the main dining room toward the back. Private hallway. 3 doors. The hostess stopped at the middle one, knocked, twice opened it without waiting. Marcus sat at a table set for 2. Candlelight, wine already poured. He stood when Emma entered, smiled that practiced smile. Emma, you're early. I like that. I wasn't sure about traffic. She let her voice shake slightly. Sit, please. Marcus gestured. The hostess retreated, closing the door. I took the liberty of ordering for us. I hope you don't mind. That's fine. Emma sat. The room was small, 1 exit. The door they'd entered through. Windows, but they overlooked a brick wall. Claustrophobic. Marcus poured more wine into her glass. You look nervous. I am nervous. Don't be, we're just talking. He raised his glass. To truth. Emma touched her glass to his. Didn't drink. About that, what you told me yesterday about Nicholas. You've been thinking about it. I haven't stopped thinking about it. She set down the glass. If what you said is true, if Nicholas really is stealing from his own company, using me as a scapegoat. It is true, Emma, every word. Then I need more than your word. I need proof I can take to authorities without ending up in prison myself. Marcus leaned back, studying her. You accessed his files like I suggested. Yes, the lie came easier than it should have. Last night, from home, I still have remote access to the systems. And what did you find? Exactly what you said I'd find. Transfers, hidden accounts, money moving to offshore companies. Emma paused. Let the silence build. But I also found something else. Marcus's expression sharpened. What? Federal surveillance notices, subpoenas. The FBI is already watching those accounts. They have been for weeks. The color drained from Marcus's face. That's impossible. It's in the metadata, logged access from IP addresses that trace back to federal servers. Emma watched him carefully. Someone already tipped them off, Marcus, about the Singapore accounts, about the shell companies, all of it. Who? His voice was tight. I don't know, but whoever it was gave them enough to start an investigation. And if I pull those records like you asked, if I create any kind of digital trail connecting me to those accounts. She let the implication hang. Marcus's jaw worked. He was thinking, fast, recalculating. The subpoenas, when were they issued? 3 weeks ago, right after I first flagged the irregularities. Emma leaned forward. Marcus, I think Nicholas knows he's being investigated. I think that's why he fired me, to distance himself before the arrests start. 3 weeks. Marcus was pale now, sweating. 3 weeks and no one's been arrested yet. They're building a case, that's what the document said. Gathering evidence. They move slow, but they move sure. Marcus stood abruptly, paced, pulled out his phone. I need to make a call. Who are you calling? My attorney. This changes everything. He dialed, waited. Damn it, voicemail. He hung up, looked at Emma. How detailed were these surveillance notices? Very. They listed account numbers, transaction dates. They know about the Cayman properties, the Belize companies, everything. Marcus's phone slipped from his hand, clattered on the table. For a long moment, he just stood there, breathing hard. Then, I need to leave the country. Tonight. There it was, the panic, the admission. What? Emma stood. Marcus, if you run, if I stay, I go to prison. His voice rose. You don't understand. Those accounts, some of them are mine. I thought I'd covered my tracks, but if the FBI is already looking. He stopped, realized what he'd just said. Emma took a step back. Your accounts, you said they were Nicholas's. They are, some of them. But others, Marcus ran his hand through his hair. I've been moving money, protecting assets. It's not illegal. It's just, you've been stealing. Emma let accusation bleed into her voice. You set me up, framed me for your theft. No, that's not. Marcus reached for her. She jerked away. Emma, listen to me. It's complicated. Yes, I moved money, but Nicholas was doing the same thing. We both were. The difference is I was planning to expose him before he exposed me. By destroying my life. By creating a credible scapegoat. Marcus's mask was cracking. You were perfect, smart enough to find the trail, but junior enough to be believable as a thief. And when the FBI came knocking, they'd find you and stop looking. Emma's hand moved toward her pocket, toward the panic button. But Nicholas's voice echoed in her head. Let him talk. Get everything. How much did you steal? Marcus laughed, wild, broken. Does it matter? It's over. If the FBI has those accounts flagged, I can't touch the money without triggering alerts. And if I can't move it out, I can't run. I'm trapped. Then turn yourself in. Cooperate. Maybe they'll put me away for 20 years. Marcus slammed his fist on the table. Wine glasses jumped. I'm 52 years old, Emma. I'll die in prison. Then you should have thought of that before you framed me. His eyes went cold. You're wearing a wire. Emma's heart stopped. What? No, don't lie to me. Marcus moved fast, grabbed her arm, yanked her jacket open. His hand went to her blouse searching, found the wire, ripped it off her skin. She gasped at the pain. Marcus held up the tiny device. Nicholas sent you. This whole thing was a setup. Let go of me. How much does he know? Marcus's grip tightened. How much did you tell him? Everything. Emma drove her knee up, caught him in the thigh, not the groin, but close enough. He grunted, released her. She stumbled back. David now. The door exploded inward. David came through, first gun drawn. 2 more men behind him. Marcus raised his hands. Don't move. David's voice was steel. Get on the ground. Marcus didn't move. Just stood there, hands up, smiling. You're too late. Down now. The money's already gone. Marcus's smile widened. I moved it this morning, every dollar, every account, converted to cryptocurrency and transferred to cold storage. You'll never find it. David's gun didn't waver. Last warning. Shoot me if you want. Won't change anything. Marcus looked at Emma. I knew you'd betray me. Knew Nicholas would try something. So I moved everything at 6 a.m. before you even woke up. Emma's mind raced. That's impossible. The accounts were still active when I checked last night. Decoys. I keep 3 sets of accounts. Real ones, fake ones, and backups. Nicholas has been tracking the fakes for months, thinking he was so clever. Marcus laughed. The real money, he never even saw it. David spoke into his radio. Boss, you getting this? Nicholas's voice crackled back. Every word. Marcus, you're bluffing. Marcus pulled out his phone. Showed the screen to David's camera. Transaction confirmations. Timestamps from this morning. Millions moving through blockchain. Check for yourself. Those accounts you've been monitoring empty, drained, gone. Silence on the radio. Then Nicholas. Bring him in, now. David moved forward. Marcus didn't resist, let himself be cuffed. You lost Nicholas. Accept it. Not yet, I haven't. Nicholas's voice was ice. David, Warehouse 3. I'm en route. Two of David's men hauled Marcus out. David stayed with Emma. You okay? He ripped off the wire. Emma touched her skin. It was bleeding. Did Nicholas hear everything before that? Most of it, enough. David handed her a tissue. Come on, boss wants us there for the interrogation. They drove in tense silence. Marcus sat in the back between two armed guards still smiling, like he'd won, like this was all part of his plan. Warehouse 3 was south side, abandoned looking from outside. Inside, it was the same setup as the other location. Computers, security monitors, and now a metal chair bolted to the floor. Nicholas was waiting. He looked at Marcus like something that needed to be scraped off his shoe. Sit him down. They forced Marcus into the chair, cuffed his hands behind it. Nicholas circled him slowly. Predator assessing prey. $50 million, Nicholas said. 3 years of theft. And you thought you'd just walk away. I did walk away. The money's gone. You can't touch it. Cryptocurrency. Nicholas pulled up a laptop. Bitcoin, yes, or Ethereum. Maybe Monero if you're feeling paranoid. Does it matter? It's untraceable. That's the point. Nothing's untraceable if you know where to look. Nicholas typed, screens filled with data, blockchain transactions, wallet addresses. You moved 17 million this morning. I can see it right here. Flowing through exchanges, mixing services, tumblers. Very thorough. Then you know you can't get it back. Not legally, no. Nicholas's smile was sharp. But I've never been particularly concerned with legality. He nodded to David. David left returned with a man Emma didn't recognize. Thin, pale, looked like he hadn't seen sunlight in years. This is Victor, Nicholas said. He's a specialist. Cybersecurity, cryptocurrency recovery, extremely expensive. Also extremely good at what he does. Victor sat at a computer, fingers already moving. Give me the wallet addresses. I'm not giving you anything. Marcus's bravado was cracking. You don't have to. Victor pulled up a program. I'll find them myself. Your phone has GPS. Your transactions this morning were routed through your home IP address. Sloppy. I already have your digital fingerprints. Marcus's face went white. Victor worked in silence. 5 minutes. 10. Then found them. 6 primary wallets, distributed across 4 different blockchains. Total value approximately 48 million. Can you access them? Nicholas asked. Not without the private keys, but... Victor pulled up another screen. He used a hardware wallet, Ledger Nano X, connected to his home computer this morning at 6:07 a.m. The connection left a signature. So if I can access his home computer, I can extract the wallet data from cache memory. It's a long shot, but more typing. He didn't clear his browser cache. Amateur mistake. Marcus lunged against the restraints. You can't access my home network. I already am. Victor's smile was thin. Your security is adequate, not great. Give me 20 minutes. Nicholas turned back to Marcus. While we wait, let's talk about Linda Vasquez. Emma's head snapped up. What about Linda? Linda's been working with Marcus for 2 years. Nicholas pulled up personnel files. She helped him manipulate HR records, create fake employees, dummy accounts for payroll that redirected to Marcus's shell companies. Linda, Emma couldn't process it. She reinstated me. She said what Marcus told her to say. Nicholas showed her emails. Linda and Marcus discussing Emma's termination, her reinstatement, how to position her as a credible scapegoat. Linda was insurance. If the theft was ever discovered, she'd ensure the evidence pointed to a junior analyst who'd conveniently just been fired. Emma felt sick. She knew. The whole time she knew I was innocent. Worse, she helped build the case against you. Nicholas closed the files. Linda's being picked up right now, along with 3 other employees Marcus compromised. How many people were in on this? Emma's voice shook. 6 total. Small cell. Marcus recruited them carefully, offered money promotions, leverage, built his own network inside my company. Nicholas's jaw tightened. I pride myself on loyalty, on knowing my people. Marcus made me look like a fool. You're not a fool, Emma said. You're just human. Nicholas's laugh was bitter. Careful, that's a dangerous accusation. Victor spoke up. I'm in, accessing his home computer now, searching for wallet data. Marcus thrashed. You can't do this. It's illegal search and seizure. We're not the police, Nicholas said mildly. We're just concerned citizens recovering stolen property. I'll press charges, You'll what? Go to the actual police, explain how you stole 50 million and we stole it back. Nicholas leaned in close. You have no move here, Marcus. No leverage, no escape. The only question is whether you cooperate and make this easier or fight and make it much, much worse. Got it. Victor's voice cut through. Wallet keys recovered. Transferring funds now. Marcus screamed, actually screamed. No, stop, you don't understand. What don't I understand? Nicholas watched the screens as numbers shifted. Millions flowing back. That you thought you were smarter than me, I understand that perfectly. The money isn't all mine. Marcus was crying now, tears streaming. Some of it belongs to the Kozlov family. If you take it, they'll come after me. The room went silent. Emma whispered, Who are the Kozlovs? David answered, voice grim. Russian mob, Chicago branch. Very bad people. Nicholas's expression didn't change. Marcus, did you really steal from the Bratva? They approached me 2 years ago, wanted to launder money through Carver International. I helped them set up shell companies, move funds, in exchange for a percentage. Marcus was babbling now. It was supposed to be simple, but then I got greedy. Started skimming from their accounts too. Just a little at first, then more. They didn't notice because I was cooking the books. How much of the 50 million is theirs? 30, maybe 35. Marcus slumped in the chair. When they find out it's gone, they'll kill me, and they'll kill everyone who helped me, including you. Nicholas turned to Victor. Stop the transfer. What, boss? We're halfway through. Stop it now. Victor hit a key. The flow stopped. 22 million recovered. 28 million still in Marcus's wallets. Why did you stop? Emma asked. Because Marcus just became a liability I can't afford. Nicholas paced. The Kozlovs don't forgive theft. They don't negotiate. If they think I was involved in stealing their money, they'll go to war, David finished, against all of us. Marcus laughed through his tears. See, you can't touch me. The money's poison. You take it, you die. You leave it, I'm already dead. Either way, you lose. Nicholas stared at him, then slowly smiled. No, there's a third option. What? We give the money back, all of it, and we give them you. Marcus's face went gray. No. Nicholas, please. You stole from the Bratva. You face the consequences. Nicholas pulled out his phone. I'm calling Yuri Kozlov right now. I'm going to explain that one of my employees betrayed both of us, that I've recovered his money, and that I'm delivering the thief to him personally. They'll torture me. That's not my problem. Nicholas dialed. Wait, Marcus thrashed against the restraints. I'll give you everything, names, accounts, access codes. Just don't give me to them. Nicholas paused. Everything. Yes, all of it. Linda, the others, everyone I worked with, every account I opened, every transaction I made. Just please. Victor resumed the transfer, all of it, including the Kozlov money. Boss, are you sure? Do it, Victor typed. The numbers flowed. 30 million, 40, 50, all of it draining from Marcus's wallets back to accounts Nicholas controlled. Marcus sobbed. You said you'd give it back to them. I will, after I've laundered it properly, made it clean. Nicholas crouched beside the chair. The Kozlovs will get their money, with interest even, as an apology for your theft. And you... He grabbed Marcus's chin, forced eye contact. You're going to disappear. Completely. No trial, no prison, no FBI. Just gone. What does that mean? It means I have a facility in Montana, Very remote, very secure. You'll live there, work there, spend the rest of your life paying back what you stole through labor. That's illegal detention. Call the police. Nicholas released him. Wait, you can't, because you're a fugitive. Wanted for embezzlement. And if you did call them, I'd just hand you to the Kozlovs instead. Marcus's head dropped. Defeated. What about Linda the others? Same deal, different facility. You'll never see them again. Nicholas stood. Consider yourself lucky I'm letting you live. This isn't living. No, it's punishment. Nicholas walked to the door. David, take him to the transport. Emma, you're with me. David and his team hauled Marcus out, still crying, still begging. Emma watched him go, feeling nothing, no satisfaction, no victory, just exhaustion. She followed Nicholas to his car. They drove in silence for 10 minutes before Emma spoke. Montana. Among other places, I have several off-grid locations for problems that can't be solved traditionally. Nicholas kept his eyes on the road. Marcus will live. He'll work. Manual labor mostly, enough to keep him busy, not enough to kill him. For how long? The rest of his life. Emma stared out the window. And the Kozlovs, you're really going to pay them back. Every dollar, plus 20% interest as apology. Nicholas's knuckles were white on the steering wheel. The Russian mob is not an enemy I need. Better to smooth this over now than fight a war later. They'll want Marcus. They'll want justice. I'll convince them that my justice is sufficient. He glanced at her. You don't approve. I don't know what I approve anymore. Emma rubbed her face. A week ago, I was a financial analyst. Now I'm complicit in kidnapping. You're a survivor. There's a difference. Is there? They drove the rest of the way in silence. Back to the estate, Nicholas Park turned off the engine. Neither moved. What happens to me now? Emma asked quietly. What do you want to happen? I want my life back. My name cleared. My career intact. Done. Robert Chen will ensure the FBI drops all charges. We'll leak evidence implicating Marcus. You'll be the brave whistleblower who risked everything to expose him. Nicholas turned in his seat. You'll have job offers from every firm in Chicago within a month. And you? What about me? What do you want from me? Nicholas was quiet. Then I want you to stay. Emma's breath caught. Stay. Work for me, not at Carver International. Here, in my organization. He gestured to the estate. You're smart, brave. You think like a criminal, but you're not corrupted yet. That's rare. Valuable. I'm not a criminal. Not yet, but you could be, if you chose. His eyes held hers. I'm offering you a choice, Emma. Walk away, start over, live a normal life. Or stay, learn what I do. Become part of something bigger and more dangerous than anything you've imagined. Why me? Because you've seen the worst of me and you're still here. Because when I tested you, you passed. Because he stopped. Because I trust you and I don't trust easily. Emma's head spun. She should leave, should run, should take the clean exit he was offering and never look back. Instead, she heard herself say, I need time to think. Take all the time you need. Nicholas opened his door. But Emma, whatever you decide, he looked back. Thank you for your help, for your courage. You saved my company, possibly my life. You saved mine first. Did I just use you? His smile was sad. I'm not a good man, Emma. Don't ever forget that. He walked into the house, leaving her alone in the car. Emma sat there as night deepened, thinking about choices, about consequences, about who she'd been and who she was becoming. Somewhere in Montana, Marcus Lane was beginning a life sentence without trial or jury. In Chicago, Linda Vasquez and 5 others would soon join him. The Kozlov family would get their money back and never know how close they'd come to war. And Emma had a decision to make. Stay or go, normal or dangerous, safe or alive. She got out of the car and walked toward the house. Tomorrow she'd decide. Tonight she just needed to breathe. Emma didn't sleep that night. She lay in the guest room staring at the ceiling, replaying everything. Marcus's face when he realized he'd lost. Linda's betrayal. The cold efficiency with which Nicholas had dismantled a man's entire existence. At 5 a.m. she gave up, Dressed in her own clothes jeans, her old Northwestern sweatshirt with the coffee stain, armor from her real life. She found Nicholas in his study, still awake, surrounded by paperwork. Couldn't sleep either. He didn't look up. No. Emma stood in the doorway. I have questions. I'd be disappointed if you didn't. Montana, the facility. How many people are there? Nicholas set down his pen. 43, including Marcus now. Some are thieves, some are traitors. A few tried to kill me and failed. All of them chose this over prison or death. You're keeping them prisoner. I'm giving them purpose. They work, they eat, they have shelter, medical care. It's not freedom, but it's not torture either. He leaned back. The world thinks they're dead or disappeared. They can never leave, but they're alive. Some would argue that's mercy. And you, what would you argue? I'd argue it's practical. Dead men can't work off their debts. Nicholas stood, poured coffee from a pot that had been sitting too long. Offered her a cup. She took it. The question you're really asking is whether I'm a monster. Are you? Yes, by most definitions, absolutely. He sipped his coffee, didn't flinch at the bitterness. But I'm a monster with rules. I don't harm innocents. I don't traffic in human misery. I don't prey on the weak. Everything I've built, everyone I've punished, they knew the game they were playing. Except me. Emma's voice was soft. I didn't know. I stumbled into this. No, you chose to investigate, chose to bring me evidence, chose to fight back when Marcus tried to destroy you. Nicholas moved closer. You've been choosing all along, Emma. The question is, what you choose next. Her phone buzzed. Text from Robert Chen, her attorney. FBI formally dropping all charges. Press conference at noon. You're clear. Emma stared at the message. Clear. Free. She could walk out of here and never look back. What happens at the press conference, she asked. Chen will read a statement. The FBI will confirm they've identified the real perpetrators. Your name will be cleared publicly. Nicholas pulled up a news site on his tablet. By tonight, you'll be trending as the analyst who exposed corporate fraud. Job offers will start by tomorrow morning. And Marcus, Linda, the others. Missing. Warrants issued. Manhunt ongoing. Nicholas's smile was thin. They'll never be found, of course, but the investigation will stay open for years. Keep the narrative alive. Emma set down her coffee. Her hands were shaking. I should feel relieved. Why don't I feel relieved? Because you've seen behind the curtain. There's no going back from that. Nicholas touched her shoulder, gentle. You know how the world really works now. The powerful protect themselves. Justice is negotiable. Truth is whatever story gets believed. That's cynical. That's realistic. He dropped his hand. The question is whether you can live with that knowledge in a normal life. Sit in a cubicle, analyze spreadsheets, pretend the system works. Footsteps behind her. David, mind if I join you? Emma shrugged. He sat, leaving space between them. Heard you're cleared, he said. Officially, noon today. Congratulations. Is it though? Emma looked at him. I'm free because Nicholas made me free. Not because the system worked, because he manipulated it. Welcome to reality. David pulled out a cigarette, lit it. You think I joined Nicholas because I believed in justice. I joined because he saved my life when the system failed me. What happened? David exhaled smoke. I was a cop. Good one too, until I testified against a dirty detective. Department hung me out to dry. Death threats, my family targeted. IAD wouldn't protect us because I'd made them look bad. He flicked ash. Nicholas found out. Offered me a job. Moved my family to a safe location. Made the threats disappear. Permanently. He killed them. He solved the problem. I didn't ask how. David met her eyes. You want to judge him, fine, but judge him on results. My wife and kids are alive. Safe. That's what matters. Ma was quiet. Then, does it bother you what he does? Some of it. The Montana facility makes me uncomfortable. But then I think about Marcus, about what he did to you, to others. Would justice have been better? 20 years in federal prison, then release, or working off his debt where Nicholas can see him? That's not justice, that's revenge. Maybe, but it's revenge that protects people. Marcus can't steal from anyone in Montana. Linda can't betray anyone. They're contained, neutralized. David stubbed out his cigarette. Nicholas isn't a hero, but he's not entirely a villain either. He exists in the space between, and sometimes that's where real problems get solved. You sound like you're recruiting me. I'm explaining what you're considering. David stood. Whatever you decide, you have earned the choice. Not everyone gets that. He walked away, leaving Emma alone with the dawn. At 11 a.m., she put on the professional clothes Nicholas's people had bought for her. Blazer, slacks. She looked like someone who'd survived a nightmare and come out stronger. The makeup helped hide that she hadn't slept. Robert Chen picked her up at 11:30. They drove to the FBI field office in silence. News vans already lined the street. Cameras everywhere. You don't have to speak, Chen said. I'll read the statement. You just stand there, look grateful, relieved. I am relieved. Good, use that. He parked. Ready? No, but Emma nodded anyway. The press conference was exactly what Chen promised. He read a prepared statement. The FBI confirmed the investigation had cleared Emma Callahan of all wrongdoing, identified other suspects, thanked her cooperation. Questions were deflected. Cameras flashed. Emma stood there feeling like a prop in someone else's story, which she realized was exactly what she was. Afterward, Chen drove her back to the estate. You did well. This will be national news by tonight. Your reputation is restored. Great. Emma stared out the window. Mr. Carver asked me to give you this. Chen handed her an envelope and don't open it until you're alone. Back in her room, Emma tore it open. Inside, a letter in Nicholas's precise handwriting and a key. Emma, by now you've seen how easily truth can be constructed, how justice can be bought, how the powerful stay powerful. The key is to an apartment in Lincoln Park, 2 bedrooms furnished, paid for a year, yours if you want it, along with a check for $250,000 compensation for what you've been through. This is the clean exit. Take it. Start over. Forget you ever met me. But if you're reading this and thinking that's not enough, if you want answers, want purpose, want to use what you've learned, there's another option. My office, midnight tonight. Come alone. Choose wisely. N. Emma stared at the letter for a long time. Then she looked at the check. $250,000. Enough to disappear. Start fresh somewhere new. Become someone who'd never heard of Nicholas Carver or Marcus Lane. Her phone rang. Unknown number. She answered. Miss Callahan. A woman's voice. Professional. I'm calling from Morrison Financial. We'd like to discuss a position. Emma hung up. 3 more calls came in the next hour. Job offers, interview requests. Everyone wanted the whistleblower analyst, the one who'd stood up to corporate corruption and won. If they only knew. At 6 p.m., David knocked. Boss wants to know if you need anything. Tell him I'm fine. He also wants to know if you're staying for dinner. Emma looked at him. Am I invited? You've been invited since day one. You just haven't accepted. David leaned against the door frame. For what it's worth, I think you should stay. Not just for dinner, for everything. Why? Because people like you, people with conscience who've seen the darkness, are rare in our world. We need that. Balance. He straightened. Dinner's at 7 if you change your mind. He left. Emma sat with the letter, the key, the check. 3 paths. Normal life, comfortable escape, or something else entirely. At 6:45, she made a decision. Emma showered, dressed, went downstairs, found the dining room. Nicholas sat alone at a long table reading something on his tablet. You came, he said without looking up. You invited me. I did. He set down the tablet, but I wasn't sure you would. I wasn't either. Emma sat across from him. I got your letter. And I have questions first. Always. Nicholas poured wine, red, probably expensive. Ask. The Montana facility, can I see it? His eyebrows rose. Why? Because if I'm considering your offer, I need to understand all of it, not just the parts you want me to see. Emma met his eyes. You said you want someone with conscience. Prove it. Show me the darkest part of your operation. Let me decide if I can live with it. Nicholas was quiet. Then, all right, we leave tomorrow, 6 a.m. They ate in silence. The food was excellent. Emma barely tasted it. After dessert, Nicholas walked her to her room. The offer I'm making it, he said at her door. It's not employment, it's partnership. You'd have autonomy, resources, authority to question my decisions, to push back when you think I'm wrong. Why would you want that? Because I'm surrounded by people who do what I say without question. David, Victor, the others. They're loyal, but they don't challenge me. Nicholas's expression was earnest, vulnerable in a way she'd never seen. I need someone who will. Someone who remembers what normal morality looks like and can pull me back when I cross too far. You want me to be your conscience. I want you to be my partner. My conscience is just one benefit. He touched her face. Brief, electric. Think about it. Tomorrow you'll see everything. Then decide. He walked away. Emma closed her door, leaned against it. Her heart was racing. This was insane. Dangerous. Wrong on every level. So why was she considering it? The flight to Montana took 4 hours. Private jet. Just Emma, Nicholas, and David. They landed at a small airstrip surrounded by mountains and nothing else. A car waited. They drove for another hour on dirt roads. Finally, they reached a compound. High fence. Guard towers. From outside, it looked like a prison. Inside was different. Clean buildings. Garden plots. People in work clothes moving with purpose, not defeat. A woman in her 40s directed a group repairing a roof. A young man tended chickens. Normal activities. Except for the guards watching, the locked gates. This is it, Nicholas said. Welcome to redemption. You call it redemption, the residents do. I call it Practical Solutions Facility 3. But they needed something Tang to believe in, so redemption. He led her through the compound. Everyone here works. Farming, construction, manufacturing. We're self-sufficient. The work is hard but fair. 8 hours a day, weekends off, medical care, education programs. And they can never leave. No, but they're alive, fed, safe. Nicholas stopped at a building. Marcus is in here. Would you like to see him? Emma's stomach twisted. Yes. Marcus sat in a small room. Not a cell. It had a bed, a desk with a window. But the door was locked from outside. He looked up when they entered, saw Emma, and his face crumpled. You came to gloat. His voice was hollow. I came to see if this is real. Emma looked around. Are you hurt? Physically, no. I get 3 meals. A doctor checks on me weekly. I'm assigned to the wood shop, making furniture. He laughed bitterly. From executive to carpenter. Quite a fall. You did this to yourself. I know. Marcus looked at Nicholas. How long do I have to stay here? The rest of your life, Nicholas said flatly. That was the deal. And if I refuse to work, if I cause trouble, then you get transferred to a less pleasant facility. Or I hand you to the Kozlovs after all. Your choice. Marcus deflated. No choice at all. There's always a choice. You chose to steal. Now you choose how to serve your sentence. Nicholas turned to leave. Work hard. Keep your head down. Maybe in 10 years we'll discuss limited privileges. They left Marcus sitting there staring at his hands. Emma didn't speak until they were outside. That's mercy. Her voice shook. That's justice without bureaucracy. Without lawyers getting him off on technicalities. Without prison overcrowding leading to early release. Nicholas faced her. Marcus stole $50 million, framed you, tried to have you killed. In the legal system, he'd get maybe 15 years, serve 8 with good behavior. Here he works until he's paid back every dollar through labor. Real consequences, real accountability. I don't need to. The isolation is punishment enough. Nicholas gestured to the mountains. No internet, no phones, no contact with the outside world. For people who lived for status and luxury, this is hell. But it's productive hell. Their labor funds this facility and 3 others. Self-sustaining punishment. What are the other facilities? One in Alaska for violent offenders. One in Arizona for financial crimes. One in Oregon for people who betrayed me personally. Nicholas started walking back to the car. You wanted to see the darkness. This is it. Not torture chambers, not execution rooms, just permanent exile with hard labor. Is that something you can live with? Emma thought about Marcus, about Linda, about everything they'd done. Prison would have been easier. 3 meals, TV time, eventual parole. This was harder, lonelier, more honest in its brutality. I don't know, she admitted. That's fair. Nicholas opened the car door for her. Let's go home. You can decide there. The flight back was quiet. Emma stared out the window at clouds and thought about choices, about justice, about what she could live with and what she couldn't. They landed in Chicago at sunset. David drove them back to the estate. At the door, Nicholas stopped. I need an answer, he said. Not tonight, but soon. I have work that needs someone I trust. If that's not you, I need to find someone else. What kind of work? Investigating my other holdings, finding problems before they become crises, being the person who asks hard questions. He unlocked the door. Plus, I'm meeting with the Kozlovs tomorrow, returning their money. I could use moral support. You want me at a meeting with the Russian mob. I want you to see how I handle delicate situations, how I negotiate, how I turn enemies into allies. Nicholas smiled. Consider it a final interview. Emma laughed despite herself. You're insane. Probably, but I'm offering you a life most people only dream about. Power, purpose, protection. He grew serious. And yes, danger. Moral complexity, choices with no clear right answer. That's the trade. And if I say no, if I take the apartment and the money and walk away, then I respect your decision. We never speak again. You live your life. I live mine. He meant it. She could see it in his eyes. The offer expires at midnight. After that, it's gone. He went inside. Emma stood on the steps as night fell. Her phone buzzed. 3 more job offers. A message from her mother asking if she was okay. A friend from college wanting to reconnect now that she was famous. She could have all of that. Normal, safe, boring. Or she could walk into Nicholas's office at midnight and choose the fire. At 11:45 p.m., Emma stood outside Nicholas's study. The door was closed. Light showed underneath. She raised her hand to knock, hesitated. Nicholas hesitated. Then, within reason, if it's a matter of survival mine or the organization's, I reserve final say. But otherwise, yes. And if I ever want out, I walk. No questions. No consequences. Done. Nicholas stood, extended his hand. Partners. Emma looked at his hand. This was the moment. Shake, and her life changed forever. Walk away, and she'd never know what she could have become. She shook his hand. Partners. Nicholas smiled. Real. Warm. Welcome to the firm, Miss Callahan. What firm? We'll need a cover story. A legitimate business to explain your role. I'm thinking consulting, management strategy. You'll have an office at Carver International, but work directly with me on special projects. Special projects meaning investigating your empire for corruption. Exactly. You're already thinking like a partner. Nicholas pulled out a folder. First assignment, tomorrow's meeting with Yuri Kozlov. I need you to analyze his body language. Tell me if he's planning to accept my offer or kill me. That's my first assignment, preventing your murder. Consider it on-the-job training. Nicholas's eyes gleamed. The meeting's at noon. Neutral location. 6 of his men, 6 of mine. You'll be there as my analyst. Watch. Listen. Tell me what you see. Emma's heart raced. This was real. She was really doing this. What do I wear to a mob meeting? Business casual. We're returning stolen money, not declaring war. Nicholas poured 2 glasses of whiskey, handed her one. To new beginnings. Emma raised her glass. To survival. They drank. The burn was familiar now. Welcome. One more thing, Nicholas said. The apartment in Lincoln Park, keep it. You'll need a place that's yours, somewhere separate from all this. And the money. Investment capital. Start building your own safety net. Never depend entirely on me or anyone else. He set down his glass. Rule number 1 of this life, always have an exit strategy. Speaking from experience, always. Nicholas walked to the window. Chicago glittered below. I've been doing this for 15 years. Built an empire, made enemies, survived. But I've also lost people, friends, partners. Some betrayed me, some died. Some just couldn't handle the pressure and left. Which category do you think I'll fall into? None of them. He turned back. I think you'll be the first to do this on your own terms, to maintain your soul while navigating hell. That's why I chose you. You barely know me. I know you survived when most people would have broken. I know you faced Marcus wearing a wire, even though you were terrified. I know you're standing here after seeing the redemption instead of running screaming. Nicholas moved closer. I know enough. Emma's breath caught. The space between them felt electric, dangerous. She stepped back. We should keep this professional. Of course. But Nicholas smiled like he knew something she didn't. Get some sleep. Tomorrow starts your new life. Emma left, walked to her room, lay in bed staring at the ceiling. Her phone showed 12:47 a.m. She'd made her choice. Crossed the line. There was no going back now. And surprisingly, she was okay with that. You said you have my money. Yuri's accent was thick. His stare was ice. I'm listening. One of my employees stole from both of us. I've recovered the funds and I'm returning them, with 20% interest as apology for the inconvenience. Nicholas slid a tablet across the table. Transaction records, $35 million plus $7 million interest, all transferred to accounts Yuri controlled. Yuri studied the numbers, and the thief being punished permanently. I want to see him personally, Didal. That's not possible, but I assure you he's suffering appropriately. Yuri's eyes narrowed. You asked me to trust your word. I ask you to verify the money first, then decide if my word has value. Nicholas leaned back, calm, controlled. $42 million says I respect you, says I value our relationship, says I'm not your enemy. Emma watched Yuri's face, saw calculation, suspicion, but also surprise. He'd expected a fight, maybe violence, not full restitution with interest. You could have kept this money, Yuri said slowly. Denied knowing where it went, made this my problem. Not quite. Yuri leaned forward. You've been generous, unexpectedly so. This creates debt. No debt, just respect. In my world, respect is debt. Yuri smiled, no warmth in it. You need something in Chicago, you call me. I help. This is how we stay square. Nicholas inclined his head. I appreciate that. They shook hands. The meeting ended. Emma breathed for what felt like the first time in an hour. In the car, David let out a low whistle. That went better than expected. Emma analysis, Nicholas said. Emma pulled her thoughts together. He was surprised, pleasantly. You gave him more than he expected, and he doesn't know how to process generosity. But he's also calculating, thinking about how to use this to his advantage. Agreed, Ahea. What else? The offer of help was genuine, but it comes with strings. He'll call that favor in eventually. Probably something you won't want to do. Almost certainly, Nicholas smiled. But that's a problem for future us. Today we avoided a war and gained a powerful ally. Not bad for your first official day. Emma laughed, shaky. Is it always like this? The adrenaline, the high-stakes negotiation, the feeling that one wrong word could end in violence. Nicholas looked at her. Yes, always. Still in. Her real job was different. She investigated Nicholas's holdings, found 3 more embezzlers, uncovered 2 attempts to infiltrate his operations, prevented one hostile takeover, and she'd done it all while maintaining her soul, her ethics, her line in the sand. Nicholas called her his conscience. David called her the boss's keeper. Emma called herself a reformed idealist, making peace with pragmatic reality. She'd never gone back to her old apartment. The Lincoln Park place was home now. She'd invested the $250,000 Nicholas gave her. It had grown to $340,000, her exit fund growing every month. Not that she planned to use it. Her phone rang. Nicholas, my office. Now, we have a situation. Emma smiled, grabbed her tablet, headed for the elevator. Whatever the situation was, she'd handle it. That's what partners did. And somewhere in Montana, Marcus Lane was building furniture and learning what real consequences felt like. The world kept turning. Justice, imperfect and complicated, kept being served. And Emma Callahan, former analyst turned partner to one of Chicago's most dangerous men, kept choosing to fight in the gray spaces between right and wrong. Because sometimes that's where the real work gets done.